Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, my analysis in 3 days of live trading, definitely check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. So before we get started, Monday morning we have big earnings from McDonald's right here. And then Tuesday we got big names also reporting earnings, Caterpillar, and then we got Pfizer, AMD after hour, and then on Wednesday you got Roku, QCOM, PayPal, and then CBS also reporting earning. Now the biggest one here for this week, Apple on Thursday, and then we got also Shopify, Eli Lilly, Moderna, all reporting earning on Thursday. And then on Wednesday, you got Fed interest rate decision, and then Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30. We also have ISM. So this is gonna be a jam-packed week. We could see lots of volatility in the market, and you just gotta be prepared for that going into next week. On Apple, stock is up 0.80%, and Apple again coming down here close to 166, 167. On Friday, it was holding, went back up to almost 169, and then came down and closed at 168.22 green on the day. We also have, like I said, earnings from Apple on Thursday. So next week, guys, critical level to hold on Apple stock right here, 166 to 167. And if that gives up, long way down. The next support and the gap, 158.49. To the upside, Apple must break and hold 170. And only if that happens, you're going to see more upside, possibly up to 173, 175, 20-day moving average right here, this white line, and then 177. But next week, anything is possible on Apple stock with earnings. If they beat, watch out. Apple might be coming back up to at least, I would say, 175, 173. Now with bad earnings, only thing I can say, this market will go down even more, especially with bad earnings from Apple. This thing gets down to this gap, 158.49. Guess what? The whole market will come down even more. So next week, you got to be careful, and especially you got to wait for earnings from Apple before taking any big position in this market. On Microsoft, it's up 0.59%, but look at this move here on Microsoft, all the way up to almost 337, and then it actually sold off all the way down to 20-day moving average right here, 328, and then we found some support right here, went back up, and now closing close to 330. So this is gonna be your key level and line in the sand right here, 328 on Microsoft. If that gives up, we also have support down here, 326, 50-day moving average, and then all the way down here, guys, and that is around 321. Now to the upside, it needs to break 331.64, and only if that happens and Microsoft can hold right here, then you are going to see continuation to the upside all the way up to 339. On Meta, it's up 2.91%. Now this is what I call insanity right here on Meta. It dropped on earnings, 279, recovered the same day, came back up to I think 293, 294, sold off a little bit, and then what happened on Friday? We gapped up, and this thing ran all the way up to almost 300. And now if you look at my screen, I mean, look at where we closed right here, 296, barely holding on to this trend line right here. And this thing actually broke this trend line, this wedge right here. So I took it off, especially the top part. But look at this bottom part right here. It's holding right here, 296. Now next week, I mean, this could be, a dead cat bounce, oversold bounce. This move here on Meta can continue to the downside. Unless Meta can break 300 and that can hold right here, then watch out for a move up to 305, possibly up to even 312. Now under 300 and especially under 296, this thing can come down all the way down to 276. I mean, it wasn't actually too far away on Thursday from coming all the way down to 276, and that is a big level of support on Meta. So Meta, anything is possible. We saw high volume selling on Thursday, and then some buyers buying up the dip on a low volume on Friday. So nothing big. We need more confirmation on Meta. If this thing wants to run higher, it needs to break 300. Now Meta stays under 300 and cannot hold 296 right here, this trend line, then watch out for a dump off all the way down to 276, and that could be coming early as next week unless we get that breakout or possibly another gap up over 300 on Meta. On Nvidia, stock is up 0.43%, and Nvidia running all the way up to 412 and then gave away all the gains and also took out the support right here, this trend line, which is sitting now around 407 to 408 and now trading at 405. So next week, guys, Nvidia needs to break 407 to 408 right here, and only if that happens, you're going to see a little bit more upside on Nvidia up to 420. Now to the downside, below this level right here, 407 to 408, watch out for this sell-off to continue all the way down to 400, and that's going to be a big level of support right here. And just below that, we have this gap at 395.30, and Nvidia takes out and actually gets down here to fill this gap and takes out this support right here. Then watch out for a move all the way down to 373, and that could be coming very soon on Nvidia. On Amazon, stock is up 6.83%, and Amazon getting up to 130, but not quite getting that breakout over 130 and coming down and closing above 126. Now we saw the same move on Microsoft, massive gap up on earnings, and then on Friday coming down and closing that gap the next day, or actually the day after. So Amazon here, the level to watch, if this thing actually want to continue this move to the upside, it needs to hold right here 126, because if you see Amazon breaking this level, that means one thing, it will come down here just like Microsoft to fill this gap at 121.64, and then we also have support down here at 118. Now Amazon can hold right here. We saw high volume buying on Friday with good earnings. 126 can hold, then watch out for a move up to 130, 132, and then the gap above 135.20. On Google, stock absolutely flat on Friday. Google getting down to 121.46, but at the end holding 123 as a support into closing. Now, if you look at my screen, it was really high volume selling from the earnings, and now it's kind of drying up. So I think Google definitely due for a bounce, possibly back up to 126 right here to fill this gap here on top. It's not too far away. As long as Google can hold right here 123, early as next week, you're going to see a move up to 126. And only if that breaks, more upside up to 130. Now 123 gives up, then watch out for this gap down here, 121.30, and this is gonna be another support right here also. And just below that, we also have this gap down here at 118.23. On Netflix is down 1.41%, and now it's trading below finally 400, which was a big support on Netflix. So next week, early as Monday, you want to watch right here as a support 395, and if that gives up, possibly more downside down to these moving averages right here around 382. To the upside, Netflix can break and hold 400, then watch out for a move up to 406 and then 418. On Tesla, stock is up 0.75%, and look at what happened on Friday. Tesla getting up to 214, and that is where daily 200-day moving average is sitting. And also we have resistance at 212, and then what happened? A flush all the way back down to 205. So Tesla needs to break right here 212 and also 214, and only if that happens, Tesla will move, and this thing can go all the way up to 231.59 and possibly up to this gap 242. So Tesla could be a runner. Right now, Tesla holding above 200, and this is gonna be a critical support on Tesla because if that gives up, there is gonna be a lot more selling, especially now that Tesla trading below daily 200-day moving average right here on this daily chart. So watch, a move back up to the upside and possibly a breakout over 212 and then possibly 214, and that could open up the door for more upside up to this gap 242, and that should be coming as long as Tesla can hold above 200. On AMD, it's up 2.95% and now trading above, again, $95 right here. And this is going to be a key level of support on AMD to hold going into next week and especially on Monday, because if that gives up, that opens the door to the support down here in bottom of this channel, and that is around $89. Now AMD can hold above 95, then watch out for a retest of daily 200-day moving average right here, and that is around $98, and only if that breaks, AMD will look a lot more bullish for more upside up to 100 and then maybe 105. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I will definitely keep you guys updated.